hit the notification button so your camera right. We have to get this camera right. That's not what I want. Give me 1 second. We're gonna fix this a little bit. Okay. This is kind of sort of like what I want, but we'll manage this for now. So welcome back to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button so you know exactly when I come on. I appreciate all of you for what you do. This is your PTA Coach. We are back, guys. Around 9:15, I plan on going live again. I will be covering exam style practice questions. For a lot of us that will be taking the state board exam in October, we are gearing up. A lot of us took the exam July, which was last week, July 8th and the 9th, and we should be getting our results back this week, right? And so I've told a lot of you, once you get your results, you passed, I'm happy for you. You get your results, you did not pass, it's okay. We can re-strategize, okay, and go through the process of getting us to prepare for the next exam, which is in October, to pass, okay? So it's not the end of the world, right? But we can make it. We can make this possible. And so, yes, we'll be getting those results. And a few things I want to correct real quick, okay? When you get your result, it's just going to say pass or fail. Let me correct what I said initially from another video. Initially, when you get that result, it's going to say pass or fail. Now, you are allowed to buy the report, but it will cost you money. But what I will recommend a lot of you do is just wait for like a week after you get your results, and you can get the report for free. Now, the report will not have the questions that you went through in the exam, of course, but it will give you a breakdown of how you performed on the different sections. We all know that we have 5 major sections in the exam. We have the cardiopulmonary, we have the nervous system, we have the musculoskeletal, we have other systems and non-systems. So 5 main areas. So it will give you a breakdown of how you did in those areas. And that report we will need, right? Especially if you plan to retake the exam, we will need that report to find out where we stand. I've shared this a lot with a lot of us on my channel. I feel like it's almost impossible to pass the state board exam if we don't hit the 3 main areas: the cardiopulmonary, the musculoskeletal, and the nervous system. Those 3 areas are heavy on questions. They almost account for 60% of the exam in my analysis, right? And so we need that report. Now, you pass the exam, you have no business with the report unless you want the report. If you still want to look at the report to see how you did and stuff like that, that's fine. But I'll suggest that you get the free one. So in that case, once you get your score, not your score, but your result initially that says pass or fail, of course it says pass, wait for a week, okay? And you can get the report for free. All right? So that's what I'll suggest for a lot of us. So tonight, just as a quick reminder, I will be going live. And when I go live, okay, we'll go through exam style questions for musculoskeletal. That's what we're going to be doing tonight around 9:15. Now, if I'm able to come on live earlier, I will, but that's the goal, okay? That is the goal. So keep studying, I can use the word studying at this time. Why? Because this exam is in about 3 months. So keep studying, keep reviewing, keep going through exam style questions, keep prepping for the big event. Because it is coming. I've said this so many times. This exam hit different. And I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I've said that so many times. It's not to scare you, but it's to put us in that mindset like, hey, this exam is coming. It's not dark, and we have to pass. Okay, that's just the truth of the truth of the truth. We have to pass. There's no other plan out there but to pass this exam. And I want to show you guys how to do that. I've talked about my workshops. Very easy. Send me an email. It's AKALUSO, the number 40 at gmail.com. Send me an email. Just say, hey, coach, I would like to join the workshop. Or some of you have actually reached out to me, like asking general questions, right? And so I've given you some type of guidance on what I feel you should do. This is pretty much, if I was in your shoes, what would I do? And I gave you guys a lot of guidance. So feel free to reach out to me. if you have questions like that. Now, the actual workshop, and I'm just going to repeat this one more time, like I have done in the previous videos. I don't teach from scratch, guys. So if you're walking in or if you're coming in virtually, expecting me to teach you all from scratch. When I say from scratch, it's like the process you went through in school, right? You sat down in the classroom, the teacher lectured you guys, and all that stuff. I don't do that. Once we come into the workshop, we dive straight into the meat and potatoes of what we need to do to pass the exam. Okay? So I have to make that very, very, very clear to everybody. Very clear. So before each workshop, I normally send out a list of topics of what I plan to discuss for that day or for that workshop. I would send it to you guys, and you would actually have the chance to go back and review and read on your own, so that as soon as we come into the workshop, we dive straight in. Okay? When we come in, I will give like a high-level overview of what we're talking about for that day, and then we go straight into the questions. That's just the way it works. That is just the way it works. Okay? And so in my state, guys, in Texas, and my understanding is that we have 6 attempts to get this. 6. Okay? 6 lifetime attempts to get this. We don't get it in 6, that's it. We score 400 or less 2 times in a row, that's it. So it's imperative. A lot of things that I talk about are very, very imperative that we get this. Okay? And I'll say this one more time. When we go through the questions, I give you guys reference points. For example, if we start to study, not study, but if we're going through questions that have to do with hypertension, I'll tell you guys exactly where to find that information. Okay, so everything I'm saying, you can cross-check. Another thing I wanted to correct real quick, guys. I was trying to give you guys a review on, for example, the muscles, right? And I think I was talking about the muscles that are responsible, the shoulder muscles that are responsible for lateral rotation of the shoulder. Let me correct that right now, okay? Give me 1 second. I'm going to correct that. Now, for lateral rotation of the shoulders, guys. Lateral rotation. Give me 1 second, okay? The muscles responsible for that are teres minor, infraspinatus, those are the 2 major ones, and of course your posterior deltoid. I just want to correct that, okay, guys? I'm human, just like all of you, just like anybody, and we can all make mistakes. But when I went back and watched that video, I was like, did I say that? Well, yeah, I said that, right? I was tired that day, a long day. I just got off work. I was trying to do a quick review of my book in the car, and so yeah. So you would always get like some kind of, and so for what I just said right now, I want you guys to confirm that, okay? Make sure it's correct. The muscles responsible for shoulder lateral rotation are teres minor, infraspinatus, and posterior deltoid, okay? Just wanted to correct that. Just wanted to correct that. And so it's never too early to start taking your practice exams. I know the exam itself is in about 3 months or less. It doesn't hurt. So if I were you, if I were in your shoes, I would plan to take my first practice exam in about 3 weeks from now. Okay? In about 3 weeks from now, I would plan on taking my practice exam. That's with me studying everything that has to do with musculoskeletal, everything that has to do with cardiopulmonary, everything that has to do with the nervous system, other systems and non-systems. Okay? And I do understand all this information could be overwhelming. It's a lot of stuff. I do understand. Okay? When you come into the workshop, I show you how to be successful at this because I am a licensed physical therapist assistant in the state of Texas. So I've been through the exam. I've been through the rigors of going to school. I know exactly how all of you feel at this time. I am very, very aware of that. Okay? And I want to walk you guys through the process of becoming very successful. That's the goal. That exactly is the goal. Okay? So just a quick reminder, once again, tonight, 9:15 Central Standard Time, I will be going live. And at that time, I will be covering questions and musculoskeletal system that will help all of us to practice for our state board exam. Okay. So, guys, I'm currently on the road. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great evening, and of course, I'll see you guys soon. 9:15 p.m. tonight, Central Standard Time. Have a great day and stay blessed. Bye bye.